I was once the daughter who was doted upon in the family until I discovered my brother's secret. Overnight, I went from being a princess to an outcast. Chapter 42. My cheeks hurt from grinning so widely. Tiara can't stop jumping in my head. I was welcomed with smiles and cheers. I talked with different pack alphas, Lunes, betas and gamma S, and some of the pack members. Lawrence was by my side all along. He smiled and welcomed everyone. Can I have this dance? Lawrence asks, grinning widely. You can, Your Highness. I say, laughing lightly. I took his hand, moving towards the dance floor. He wraps his hands around my waist while my hands wrap around his neck. Everyone stops dancing, watching as we dance slowly to the soft music playing. Our eyes locked intensely, smiling sweetly. I can't stop admiring the way his eye sparkles as the light shines in the room. The thread of hair resting on his forehead. His lips drawing me to them. The way sparks run through my body when he touches me. The way he makes me feel when he is around me. I never once believe I will feel this way or ever be happy again. Thank you. I say, placing my head on his chest, hugging him tightly, trying to keep the tears from coming. For what he asks, stunned, one hand brushing my arm and the other wrapping around my waist. For everything. I say, burying my face into his chest. It is my duty to protect you, and I will keep doing so. He says, raising my chin up, making me look into his eyes filled with love and respect. Me Vida, I love you, don't you ever forget that. He says, searching my eyes. I pulled him into a kiss. Our lips move together, showing how we feel. Lawrence left to talk with some alphas while I can't find the girls or even the boys anywhere in the big hall. I am currently dishing myself some food. You can't blame me when your stomach keeps grumbling, you just have to listen. Virago, Hunter called, walking towards me with that stupid smirk of his. I hate when he calls me that, but will he ever listen? No. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Saying I deserve it because of the way I treated him after finding out his plans with Grace. I scowled at him. He walks towards me, smirking. He looks the same way, with his black hair looking mess like he ran his hands through constantly, just the way he always does. Saying he makes him look handsome. His grey eyes just like my dad staring back at me. He is dressed in a black tuxedo and black pants. What? I ask, walking towards an empty table. I place my food on the table before drawing a sit-out to sit on. What a nice way to greet your brother you haven't seen for months. He says, sarcastically, taking a seat beside me. I glare at him. The last time I checked you were happy I was leaving Virago. Come on. I miss you, he says, wrapping his hand over my shoulders. I miss making fun of you, with your angry and sassy reply. He says with a smile. Like I will believe you and stop calling me that. I say, pushing off his hand, but his grip was tight, not painfully tight, but gently. What? Virago, he says with a smirk. How I wish to punch that face of yours, I mumble under my breath, but of course. He heard damn werewolf fury. See, that's why I call you Virago, always angry, he says, laughing. But before I could give him a sassy comment, someone made his presence known. Someone I am not ready to meet or ever be ready. What do we have here? Dad says, taking a seat opposite me with his face as emotional as ever. Dad, Hunter says, glancing at him before looking at my face for any sign of anger. I smile weakly at Dad, but I got a hard stare for a reply. I send you here, but you ended up seducing the Alpha King and becoming the Lunar Queen, he says coldly. His words should have stopped getting to me, but hearing what he thinks about me made my heart hurt. Very impressive. I looked down at my food, losing my appetite. I felt anger building in me, but it wasn't mine. I looked around, seeing Lawrence already staring at me. He must have felt my sadness. I gave him a nod to assure him everything is okay. He gave me a smile before his anger subsides a little. Dad, not here, please, Hunter says softly. He glared at Hunter before putting his focus back on me. Get ready for your surprise tomorrow, he says, giving me a last look before leaving the table. What a surprise. Oh, Moon Goddess, help me by Virago, Hunter says, leaving the table. I look down at my food. Thanks for making me lose appetite, I mumble sarcastically, picking my plate from the table. I throw the remaining of my food in the waste bin. I walked towards Lawrence. Can we go now? I am really tired, I say with a smile, trying to hide my irritation. He nods, taking my hand before saying goodbye to his guest. We walked to his car, waiting by the entrance. He opened the door for me to get in before getting in, giving his driver a sign to drive. He pulled me out of his lap before bringing his face to my neck, breathing my scent in. "What did your dad say that got you all tense up?" His breath on my neck sending my heart into overdrive. "Nothing. He was just being his usual self," I say casually. He didn't reply or talk throughout the drive home. We reach the mansion. I sigh because I am barely holding myself from jumping Lawrence. The driver opened the door before helping me get down. The house was silent since everyone was still back at the party. Immediately the door of his room closes. Lawrence pulled me into a deep, intense kiss. He breaks the kiss, looking into my eyes as we breathe heavily. His eyes clouded with lust. "I have been longing to do that," he says before pressing his lips to mine hungrily. I woke up feeling happy since Lawrence had some packwork. He left early. I entered into the bathroom doing my daily routine. I left my hair all freely on my shoulders before putting on jeans, a black crop top, and a sweater. I walked out of the room going towards the kitchen. I walked in to find Levi and Ethan eating breakfast, but what left me shocked was the last person I never expected to be here, standing with a mischievous smile. "What do you do here?" I asked, stunned. He was Hunter in the kitchen when every guest was expected to leave yesterday after the coronation. "You have a nice way of greeting me," he says sarcastically, taking a bite from his toast bread. "Oh, I am so sorry. Where are my manners? Can you please tell me what are you doing here?" I ask, smiling before taking a glass and filling it with orange juice. "Virago, no need for you to be proactive," he says, smirking. "I am just here for training." "What?" I say in shock while spilling my juice on the floor. "I am here for training," he says again, drawing each word. "Why?" "I don't want him here with me. Him being here means trouble for me. Our relationship is not like a loving brother and a sweet sister relationship, but the opposite. We don't get along. We are so enemies because I need the training to be a better alpha than Dad," he says smugly. "Your ego must have taken a fall," I say, rolling my eyes. "So you two can't stand being under the same roof?" Ethan asks in amusement. "You two are very entertaining to watch," Levi adds, laughing. I and Hunter send them a playful glare before I focus on cleaning the mess I made. "To my agent extraordinaire, Madeline Nelben, heartfelt thanks for your unfading patience, enthusiasm." Grace called, entering into the kitchen. "Oh, this is not good." She has no idea Hunter is here. She stops in her track in shock and fear, looking at Hunter, who didn't even spare her a glance or look affected seeing her here. I pull her out of the room towards the back of the mansion where I saw her the last time I went looking for her. I sit on the bench, pulling her down with me. I look into her eyes. She looks confused. "He came here for training." "What?" she asks, leaving the tray she was in. "Hunter, he came here for training, so don't let him get to you," I said, smiling warmly. I sniff the air, feeling a slight difference in the air. I glance at Grace once again. "Your scent is different," I say, confused. A pink blush creeping up her cheeks as she smiles, dreaming lie. "You completed the mate bond," I say, grinning widely. "I am so happy for you." "Thanks," she says, smiling happily. I grin happily before hugging her tightly. Like Lydian would say, "Welcome to the mated group," I say, laughing. Chapter 43. It has been 3 days now, and it feels like the longest days of my life, with Hunter getting on my nerves. I am still wondering if he is here for training or to piss me off. It is amusing and entertaining to everyone, but not to me when you are on the receiving end. But what can I do than ignore his stupid self? Kate Becker calls through the mind link. "Yes." "Where are you?" Her voice sounding tired. "I am with Lawrence in his office doing some work," I say, nonchalantly reading through the files while Lawrence focuses on his laptop, sighing now and then. "Oh, queen duties. I wish you luck," Lydia adds, laughing. "Why don't I send for help since you are the beta female?" I say mockingly. She was silent for a while before I and Becca starts laughing. "Whatever. But if you need my help, just mind link me, okay?" she says. "I will do that," I reply. "What are you girls up to?" I ask suspiciously. "Don't know yet. Maybe watch a movie or go shopping," Becca says nonchalantly. "I am helping Anderson with an errand," Lillian says before cutting the link with us. "Okay, bye. I have a lot of work to do now," I say before blocking them out. I sigh loudly, rubbing my temple. I glance up to see Lawrence concentrated on his laptop before looking down at the file left to be signed. I wonder how Lawrence does this every day. I spent hours arranging and putting a signature on labeled documents. Anderson and Jack later join us after doing their assigned works. I sit on the floor India style with a cup of choco iced cream watching a movie I am not interested in. I have no idea where Ma or Auntie Melanie is. Not even the girls were about. Therago. Hunter called, placing himself on the couch staring down at me. Look, I am not in the mood for you right now, so go away. I say, irritated before taking another bite from my wonderful iced cream. You hurt my feelings with the words you say. He says, faking hurt. I am glad you feel hurt. I say, spitefully staring at the TV, trying to ignore his presence. Let's play a game, he says suddenly. Not interested, I say, shrugging. He sauntered towards me before sitting on the floor with me. Come on, Kate, it's just a harmless game with me, your brother. Not a stranger, he says warmly with pleading eyes. You tell me because I don't know, I say with a raised eyebrow. Okay, just this one game, he says with a frown. Is this another plan? Because I don't get why all of a sudden you are here and asking to play a game with me. I ask suspiciously. I know I'm not the best brother, but I am trying here. He raises his voice, frustrated. I just have one question for you, I say, staring at him intensely, trying to figure out what going through his mind. Why? Why? You are asking why, he says, raising his voice, anger evident in his eyes. Yes, I am asking because it is confusing. Why so much hate towards me, and now you are acting like we are best of friends. I say calmly. I will never admit to anyone that I love my brother so much, even when he hurts me countless times, but this hope of one day he will hold me and stand by me never goes, and it keeps haunting me. I don't owe you any explanation, he says harshly before leaving me bewildered. I looked down at the melted choco ice cream. It seems I will keep you for later, I say smugly, taking the ice cream into the kitchen. Hey Gracie, I say, putting the ice cream back into the freezer. Kate, you hear, I was thinking you went with Lillian, she says while closing the book she was reading. I was thinking the same, but anyways, what are you doing? I asked, taking a seat beside her on the stool. Nothing, just trying to pass the time, she says nonchalantly. We talked for a few minutes before she left, saying Jack called for her. I left the kitchen towards the field, trying to get my mind off the argument I had with Hunter. He was just so confusing and difficult to read. Just like my dad was always cold and distant. He hates showing and saying what he feels. Maybe it runs in the family. Your Highness, a lady with brown long hair and black big eyes says with a bow. Kate, I says, smugly. What? She asks nervously. Just call me Kate, and what your name? I say with a smile, trying to ease her nervousness. Arya, your Highness. I meant Kate, she says nervously. I would like to speak to you about my daughter. Let's go over there, then we can talk, I said, pointing towards a bench. She trailed after me towards the bench. So about your daughter, I say, sitting on the bench. She's heard a lot about you. How you are a great fighter. Bold and very intelligent lady, she says with a smile. Wow, this is the first time I heard someone talk about me in such admiration, I say sincerely. She laughs lightly. Tomorrow is her 16th birthday, and I will love to surprise her with your presents. What is her name? I asked in amusement. It was always a good feeling seeing mother care so much for her children. Sadie, she replies with a smile. Okay. What time and place? I ask, loving the idea. I will be at the mansion by 400, she says warily. We exchange goodbyes. Kate, let go for a run, Tiara says, demanding. A little run would be good to ease my mind, I say, walking deeper into the forest. I move closer to a tree, stripping off my clothes, but before I could get in rest I heard a cry for help. Help me. Help me. Please, this voice sounds familiar, I mumble to myself. I followed the cry for help, going deeper into the forest. Where are you? I called out, but the voice keeps calling out for help. Where are you? I called out once again desperately. Who are you to ask such questions? The voice echoed, sending waves of fear in me. I twirl, searching for the source of the frightening voice. Who are you? Show yourself right now, I say with command, lancing my voice. Kate. Kate. Stop trying to act boldly every time. We both know you are so scared to lose your worthless life. The voice says, laugh echoing through the forest. My fangs and claws inject. I tried moving, but it seems my foot was tied to the grass. I tried once again, but no result. What are you doing to me? I growled, my eyes turning red with anger and frustration. I am doing nothing. You are the one bringing this upon yourself. The voice says, having pleasure in my suffering. Whoever you are, let me go. I glowered, holding on to the little strength in me. Why will I do that when this is very entertaining? The voice says, getting louder, this is the beginning of your punishment. The voice says harshly with so much hate. I tried mind-linking Lawrence and everyone, but my mind was blocked out from reaching anyone. What this moon goddess, please help me. It can tend this way, not now. Not ever. Chapter 44. Tiara, can you hear me? I ask, my voice sounding weak. Yes, but I am losing my strength, she says before pausing momentarily. Let me take control. What? I ask, confused. You can't hold on any longer, so let me take control, she says understandably. I pulled back, giving her control. She whines, calling for help, but anyone will hear us. Kate's Arya, I can't stay longer to see you. I slowly, but not to worry, Lawrence will join you soon. The voice says, faking sympathy. Don't you dare hurt Lawrence, she growled. I will find you and make you pay. Very funny. But you will not live to find me. The voice says sternly, I will make you suffer. Everything you love will be destroyed, the voice snickered. And I will bring your mate down with you. The voice says harshly, making its presence unknown. No, this can't be happening. Tiara claims it over. There is nothing we can do, I say, falling freely on my knees, accepting defeat. We can't give up now. Everyone's fate is on us, she says, pleading. Look around, Tiara, we are losing strength, which means we have little time to live. I succumb to the pain. I can't believe you are saying this, she says, dumbfounded. I won't let it end this way. Everything will be destroyed if we don't fight this, she says with a shaky breath. She growled, eyes turning gold. Moon goddess, give me strength. I need strength, she cried out in pain. Kate, I need you to give me your strength, she demands. I complied, welcoming the darkness that clouds my mind. Tiara POV, strength enveloped me. I tried moving once again, but my legs were stuck. I tried running at full speed, but nothing, it stuck. I tried everything I could think of. My strength reducing, and everywhere surrounded by darkness, showing how late and worried everyone is. I sigh loudly, rubbing my aching waist and legs until an idea struck me. I use my claws, digging the sands around my legs. I dust my legs, removing the remains of the sands on my sneakers before jumping on a tree close by. Have to go through the trees, I muttered. I jumped through trees, ignoring the ache of my bones. Almost there. You can do this, Tiara, I say, seeing a view of the mansion. I did a little dance of victory, reaching the door of the mansion. I am standing here tired, weak, and confused. Such everyone is waiting and worried, but I can't tell them anything when I am confused myself. Oh, moon goddess, what to do? Maybe telling a lie and then trying to figure it out myself. That could work. Tiara, you can do this. Kate is depending on you. I raise my hand to push the door open, but stop myself from doing so. What will I say when a question about what happened to Kate and the bruises on my legs and hands? Stop this thought, I groan, pushing the door open to see everyone with worries and panic evident on their faces. Kate, where have you been? Elisa says, anger lacing her voice. She is Tiara and not Kate. Lawrence says, harshly, looking into my eyes with anger. Her eyes are gold and not amber. I forgot about that little detail. So, young lady, where have you been? And why are you in control? Ma asks with a raised eyebrow. We found ourselves in deep trouble and she got weak trying to get us out of the situation we got ourselves in. I say, trying to stop my beating heart. And what kind of trouble? Ma asks suspiciously. Tu es agent extraordinaire, my noble. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. I think of a way out, Tiara. We got lost in the forest. It was partially true. And what were you doing in the forest, by the way? Moss is not completely convinced. Can you stop asking these questions? I am Huraintai, I say, sounding frustrated. My muscles are tense and aching. I am dizzy from standing so long and I need to take a bath because I feel dirty. Virago, can you for once think about others and not always about yourself? Hunter says, glower. You have to understand, Kate is weak and not present right now. She needs all the rest she can get and all these questions are not helping. I say, pleading. It's hard not telling them the truth, but it's all for the best. Until I know what's going on, I can't say anything. Okay. Lawrence, take her to your room, Elisa demands. I gave everyone a weak smile before Lawrence carries me bridal style towards his room. He put me on his bed before placing the blanket on me. I look into his eyes, not being able to keep it in anymore, letting the tears roll freely on my cheeks. He stroked my cheek. Sensing Travis' take control, I hug him, crying, "Travis, we almost dead today," I say, feeling the need to come out clean. "What?" he growled, pulling from the hug. I hold his hands, making him calm down through the mate bond. I don't know who it was, but the voice sounds familiar. I told him everything about how we got into the forest. The unknown voice. And the power that radiates through the voice. "We have to let Melanie know about this," he suggests, sounding angry and fear still evident in his voice. "No, I will let them know when Kate is awake," I say warily. "Okay, but you need to be careful," he says, brushing the strands of hair behind my ears. "You get me worried today. I wasn't able to reach you or feel you," he says, regret lacing his voice. "I shouldn't have let you out of my sight. You are not to be blamed," I say, trying to blink back the tears. "The thought of me losing you and not being able to help you kills me," he says, pulling his hair harshly. "I should have been there. Travis, please don't blame yourself. Your words are hurting me," I say, taking his hands from his hair, holding it tightly. "Travis, you will never lose me. I survived today with the help of the moon goddess, and she will keep helping me." I pull him into a deep kiss, exploring his mouth with my tongue. I pulled away, resting my forehead against his. "I will kill whoever tries taking you away from me before he can come anywhere close to you," he says, cradling my face with his hands. Chapter 45. Kate POV. My head hurts, I mutter, dropping my forehead. "Am I dead yet?" I blink my eyes to adjust to the light coming from the window. "Tiara, where are we?" I ask in a panic. I look around, confused. This is Lawrence's room, but how did I find myself on his bed? I was almost dead before I blanked out. "Tiara, what's going on?" I exclaimed in pain. My head hurts from so much thinking. "Relax, Kate, everything is all right," Tiara says warmly. "What happened?" "I don't remember anything," I said, resting my back on the headboard. "I find a way to get us out of death," she says nonchalantly. She explains how she escaped and told Travis everything that happened. "And Kate, don't you think it time for you to get ready for the birthday party?" She smirks, her playful side come into play. "What?" I asked, confused. "To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilben. Heartfelt thanks for your unfading patience, enthusiasm." "Her daughter. Birthday?" she asks in a dull tone. I look at the clock placed on the nightstand. "It's almost time. I need to get ready before she comes," I say, rushing into the bathroom. "It's so obvious. So get lazy ass Resi, because we need to make a great first impression as a Lunar Queen," she says proudly. I choose to ignore her sassy comment. I did my daily routine. I walked into the closet with a towel wrapped around me, since my things were moved into Lawrence's room, and so were my clothes outfits below, before pulling my hair into a high ponytail. I stepped into the room to find Lawrence laying lazily on the bed, his legs crossed, hands behind his head, and eyes closed. He's looking so handsome with a denim jacket just like mine, a white t-shirt and black ripped jeans. I could not stop the urge to kiss him, so I walked towards him and placed on his lips. Before I could stand up, he pulled me down, my nose touching his. His eyes focus on mine, a smirk playing on his lips, and hopped around me, holding me in place. "You could have just accessed us stealing one," he says with a raised eyebrow. Forget it, just let me go," I say, faking hurt. "What? Why will I let you go when it feels good holding you close to me?" he says teasingly. "I am hungry, so let me go," I say, trying to wriggle out his hold. "Not to worry, I brought something for you to eat," he says, pointing towards a plate of mac and cheese on the nightstand. He releases me from his hold before placing the plate on my lap. "Thanks," I say with a smile. "Are you feeling okay?" he asks worriedly. "Yeah, I am feeling good," I replied, taking a bite from my food. He kept glancing at my hair and then my face with a frown on his perfect face. "What?" I asked, confused. "Why is your hair in a ponytail?" he asks, his frown still in place. I gave him a confused look because I like it that way. "Why ask?" he says. "I don't like you putting your hair in a ponytail." "Are you saying I don't look good with a ponytail?" I ask with a scowl on my face. "No, you look gorgeous with it, but I like seeing the full length of your hair," he says, pouting. I laughed at his expression. Okay, I understand, but I am not losing this ponytail, I say, matter of fact. I place the empty plate on the nightstand before turning my attention back to him. A lady I met yesterday invited me to her daughter's birthday and she will be here to pick me up in a few minutes, I say with a wide smile. Who is she? Arya, and her daughter's name is Sadie. I am going with you, he says, leaving no room for argument. I sigh loudly. Okay, let go, she will be here soon, I say, taking the empty plate before pulling Lawrence towards the kitchen. Kate, I hope you're feeling okay now, Elisa asks, concerned. Yes, I have never felt so great, I say with a smile. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nobel, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Your Highness, a lady is here asking for you, a girl with brown eyes and black hair says. Eyes focus on the floor. Okay, thanks, I say with a smile while she raised her head, a smile on her lips before rushing out of the room. I place the plate in the dishwasher before walking towards the living room with Lawrence trailing behind me. Hey Arya, I say, walking towards her before pulling her into a hug. She pulled back with a smile before bowing down in respect to Lawrence. Your Highness, I know you invited only me, but he insisted on coming along, I say with a smile. No problem. I am sure Sadie will be so happy seeing you too, she says with a grin. We arrived at her place within 30 minutes since the place was a little far from the mansion. Her house has a warm atmosphere and is decorated with flowers, and few people were invited since it was a little family party. Your Highness, a girl looking like a much younger version of Arya ran towards us in surprise. You must be Sadie, I say with a sweet friendly smile. Yes, OMG, you are here, she shrilly happily. Your mum invited us. So how is the birthday party going? I ask, looking around, seeing everyone's eyes on us. I looked at Lawrence to see him smiling with his hands tucked in his pocket and amusement in his eyes. It's going well and is the best birthday ever, she says, grinning happily. Sadie was a fun girl to be around. Lawrence got comfortable talking with the guys. It was wonderful. I needed to get to know more people in my life. That was wonderful, I say, falling flat on the couch. We just got home from the party. I promised Sadie I will teach some of my fighting styles to her, and she was so happy and sad when it was time to leave. It looks like someone had a good time today, Jack says, smirking, entering the room. Yes, you should have seen Lawrence dance, I say, laughing while Lawrence sends me a playful glare. I foresaw Lawrence to dance since he was behaving so grumpy. That will be a scene to watch, Jack says, laughing. Oh, look at who's talking. I can't believe you were scared of your own shadow, he retorted. It was just a misunderstanding. I was thinking my shadow was someone else, I say smugly. It was not my fault the light was dim. The moonlight was the only light seen through the room, and I mistook my shadow for someone else. Sure it was, he says, not buying my story. Whatever, I say, rolling my eyes. I left him, going towards our room. I changed into my nightwear before laying on the bed. Later Lawrence joined me on the bed, my back facing him while he places his hand on my waist, pulling me closer to him. I fell into a deep sleep. Wake up, bitch, a voice called. I blinked, looking around, but all I could see is darkness. You survived my last attempt, but not this one, the voice growls harshly. I felt a hand around my neck, holding tightly the air from my lungs. Leave me, I say, trying to pull the hand away desperately. You must die and no one will save you, the voice says, as my eyes beings to give away and my body getting weak. I tried to wriggle, but the hands on my neck got tighter. If that was possible, help me please, I managed to choke out before welcoming my fate. Chapter 46, Lawrence POV. I jerk from sleep, feeling immense pain in my heart, like something was pulled away from me. My breath became heavy, my heart pangs in pain. I turned to see Kate asleep, just like an angel she is. I brushed strands of hair from her face. Wait a minute, I mumbled, placing my hands on her forehead. Her body is so cold, I muttered under my breath. Kate, wake up, you must be feeling cold, I called, but no movement from her. I tried shaking her shoulder, but nothing. Is she? No, it can't be, I exclaimed, pushing away negative thoughts. I brought my index finger under her nose to get any sign of breathing, but nothing. I jumped off the bed before holding her wrist, checking for a pulse, but felt nothing. She was lifeless. I dropped her hand, moving back in shock and confusion. Try the swine, has my heart thundered in my chest and my heart ripping into pieces. Tears run down my cheeks. I howl, falling on my knees. Lawrence, what going on? I felt myself losing someone, and here you are howling in tears. Mama's crushing into the room, scared and surprised. Everyone rushed into the room, confusion and concern evident on their faces. I felt so weak and dead, my life was taken away all of a sudden. Kate. To my agent extraordinaire, Mylan Nilbert. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. WH, what W wrong with her? She not getting up. Alex stuttered, brush her hand through Kate's hair. Melanie walks towards Kate, lifelessly on the bed. Before taking her wrist, she dead. Melanie whispers sternly, not believing her own words. No, it can tend like this. Grace cries out loudly, falling on her knees while Jack tries to console her by hugging her tightly. And some consoles Lillian as she breaks down in tears while Dad hugs Mum tightly as she cries in paw, and Levi are by the bed telling Melanie and Alex to pull themselves together. Hunter growled in agony, digging his claws into the palm of his hands. Blood drip on the floor. I felt a pang in my heart, both physically and emotionally drained. I rise to my feet. I glance at the lifeless body of Kate before rushing out of the room, ignoring their calls. I entered the gym, my eyes red. Claws and fangs out, my breathing heavily as my chest rises and falls. I punched the punching bag with so much force, breaking it off the hook. I continued my torture, my body aching, but I don't care because I feel dead, the pain in my heart so much more than the ache of my bones. Why, I cry in anguish, why do you have to take her from me, Moon Goddess? I felt the urge of killing and destroy anything that comes my way. My tongue taste of blood. I made my way out of the gym, finding any scent of blood. I walked towards the movie room to find 3 young pack warriors taking and watching a movie. Their blood won't be enough to quash my taste, I say, sounding different and feeling different. But before I could get to them, their hands pulled me back with force. I growled at who stopped me from completing my quest. I called him any longer. Anderson cried out as I tried pulling his hands off me. I felt something being injected into me before losing consciousness. Melanie POV. Lawrence was dragged into the cells after losing consciousness. Everything can't be over, I fear it, but with Kate's dead, Lawrence will be miserable and become a deadly beast. Whenever a Lycan loses its mate, the Lycan will become a killing machine seeking blood. And if this happens to Lawrence, it doesn't help but cause destruction to everything. I need to say something. I say, taking a sit in the dining room as everyone did the same. I told them about the legend, but never said anything about the chosen male being a king or the girl dying. I say in confusion. What do you mean? Hunter asked. What I am trying to say is the legend is different from what is happening now. I say warily. But I don't understand what's going on here. Kate can't just die this way. Matthias says, resistant lie. The goddess of darkness must have a hand in what goes on. I say with hatred. Who is this goddess of darkness? Anderson asked. She controls evil and darkness in the world. She vowed to destroy the Moon Goddess and her children. This was the reason the Moon Goddess sent Travis and Tiara to protect and guilt her children, but the Goddess of Darkness decided to kill them both. The Moon Goddess was so desperate to keep them away from the Goddess of Darkness. She placed a curse on them, filling them with hatred for each other, and only the mate bond could bring them together. The Goddess of Darkness saw this and took advantage of the hatred in the girl's heart, filling it with darkness and anger for the world. The Goddess of Darkness could only destroy the world if Travis and Tiara dies. Can't the Moon Goddess stop her from causing destruction? Leon asked. It was too late for her to do anything, but she was able to bless them with a guardian to protect and guild when it times for the Goddess of Darkness comes to kill. But if they were to save the world, why will the Moon Goddess let Kate die this way? Levi asked, confusion lacing his voice. You can't understand the mind of the Moon Goddess. I say simply. But since Kate is dead, does that mean the Goddess of Darkness is going to attack soon? Levi asks in worry. Yes, but I feel she's using someone for her evil deeds because she can't Kate that easily in her sleep without the Moon Goddess fighting for Kate's life. I say, contemplating difference in areas in my mind. Who can this person be? Alex asks. The question we should ask ourselves is what's going to happen next. I say, succumbing to defeat. Chapter 47, Kate POV. I grow, my eyes hurt. My muscles aching. I blink, trying to adjust to the brightness from somewhere in the room. I rise my body to a sitting position. I am locked in a big birdcage. My clothes change from my nightwear to a white plain dress. What going on here? I asked Tiara but received no reply. I tried reaching to her but felt empty inside. I move in a kneeling position, the bright light coming from a little hole. I hold the cage with one hand and the other trying to reach for the light. Help me. Is someone out there? I yell, but my cries echo back, hunting my thoughts. Lawrence. Monty, Melanie. Anyone? I clamor. Feeling loneliness creeping in the depth of my heart, please, I whimper. Kate, a soft voice echo around me. You have to fight because everyone is in danger. The voice continues. Can you please help me, whoever you are? I call out. You're the only one to help yourself. Who are you? And why can't you help me? I wipe my tears before sitting. I am the moon goddess, but you have to free yourself because the goddess of darkness is coming, she explains. You are the moon goddess? I ask, surprised and in shock. Wait a minute, you mentioned something about a goddess of darkness. I said, flustered. We are opposite forces. She trying to kill you and Lawrence destroying everything and my beloved children. She says with hate lancing her voice. Then what am I doing being locked here by who knows who? You have to let go of all the hate in you before you can be free. She says warmly. You are caged in hate and anger that's overwhelming everyone around you. I don't get you. I say, confused. You have to love something for you to protect it, she says, her voice fading into my mind. I shudder in fear as the only light coming into the room enveloped in darkness. I tried to keep my eyes focused, but it felt like I am being drawn into an endless depth of darkness. I jerk up from the bed, panting. I whirled around trying to get myself together. This is Lawrence's room. I reach for the water on the nightstand, feeling soreness in my throat. I gulped the water before placing the empty glass back on the nightstand. What just happened? I muttered under my breath, bewildered, staring into space. Kate, you need to find Lawrence now, Tiara demands. Why is everything okay? I ask with panic. I can't feel Travis, she says sadly. I rush out of the room following Lawrence's scent, which leads down to an empty hallway. The hole led to an underground chamber. I felt goosebumps and fear from the chilling cold. The walls cracked, dark without any sign of light except the fire lamp hanging on the walls. The more I go deeper, the more Lawrence's sweet scent fills my nose, increasing the beating of my heart. Waves of shock run through me, but not from the condition of this place, but the sight in front of my eyes. I close my eyes tightly, letting the tears go, taking a deep breath to calm my nerves and the breaking of my heart. I open my eyes once again, welcoming the shocking sight. Lawrence locked in the dungeon, looking deadly and ready to kill. Half in human form and Lycan, claws in both hands and legs, clothes torn and stained with dry blood. He sits in the end corner of the cage, head bowed, and chest rising and falling as he breathes heavily. I use my shaking hand to cover my mouth, then the other holding the gate for balance as my legs feel like jelly. He raises his head, noticing my presence. His blood-colored eyes stare at me in bewilderment and shock. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nobel, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. His voice sounded strange and husky. I turned, looking towards the guards standing at the door, staring at me in shock and fear. Open the gate, I demand, glancing back at Lawrence. The guards did as I say with shaky hands. I walk into the cage towards him. I kneel in front of him, taking his hands, but he growls loudly, pushing away from him. Lawrence, it's me. You're me, Vida, I say softly, moving closer. He stared at me intensely, growling under his breath before turning away from me. Taking a deep breath, I walk closer, placing my hand on his shoulder, hoping he feels the spark of our bond. His body tense under my touch, as the only sound heard is the rumbling of his chest and the sound of my heart beating loudly. I move my hand, clutching his hand between my. Lawrence, please look at me, I whisper, feeling more tears run down my cheek before feeling his hand raising my chin to meet his eyes. His eyes flick, searching my eyes with such intensity as he could not believe I was standing before him. I watch as tears run down his face, breaking my heart, taking his hands from mine. He cradles my face. I close my eyes, leaning into his touch. I rest my forehead against his, running my hands through his hair. Lawrence, we can't let her, when I say, simply opening my eyes to focus on his. His eyes were back to the hazel color I knew. Fangs and nails back in their places. I felt lost when you were dead, he says, taking my hands as tears rolling down his cheeks. I thought you dead. The moon goddess help in bringing me back, I say with a sad smile. He kisses me lightly on the lips. Thanks for coming back, he says with a smile. I kiss him, feeling different emotions at once. We called away with a smirk. You need a bath. Let's go, I say, extending my hands to him. He took a bath, doing his daily routine, while I went to the kitchen to get him something to eat. No one was in the kitchen, which was weird. Where is everyone? I mumble, confused. I dish out scrambled eggs, toast bread, and 2 cups of tea before going back into the room. He was dressed in a black leather jacket, blue jeans. He stands facing the large windows with hands tucked in his jeans pocket. Eyes focus on the trees outside. I place the tray on the nightstand before walking towards him, hugging his back. You send, good, I say, sniffing his jacket, placing a kiss on his right shoulder. He chuckled. What a compliment, he says, turning before placing a light kiss on my lips. You have to eat before it gets cold, I say, brushing invisible dust from his jacket. He intertwined our hands together, pulling me towards the bed. He places the tray between us on the bed. Eat up, he urges. We ate in silence for a few minutes before Lawrence decided to break it. I don't understand, he said with a frown. Understand what? I ask with raised eyebrow, taking a sip from my cup of tea. You were lifeless when I tried waking you 2 nights ago. The same person who tried killing me in the forest strangled me to death in my sleep, I say nonchalantly. I explained to him how I walked up in a birdcage, what the moon goddess told me. We need to get ready for what is to happen next, he says intensely. Yeah. We'll often talk as we ate, but I had a feeling it won't last long. We walked into the living room to find everyone's fear and confusion evident on their faces. Kate, is that you? Grace asks, rushing towards me before pulling me into a hug. She pulled away, tears running down her cheeks. I wipe her tears. You don't expect me to go without a fight, I say with a smile. Lillian and everyone hugged me. Becca, Lillian and Grace cried so much I even have to stop myself from crying along with them. Ma hugged me tightly, tears rolling down her cheeks. Don't you ever do that, she scolds. You gave me a heart attack. I am here now and never going anywhere without a fight. Auntie Melanie told me what was going on. The border patrol got stronger. Everyone has been notified to get ready for war anytime soon. Training is going on as we speak. Anderson informs Lawrence on the strategy and requirements. Kate Hunter called from the couch. Yes, I ask, focusing my attention on the strategy Lawrence handed to me. Dad is on his way here, he just minds link me. Hunter says, wary, looking everywhere but me. Why is he coming here? I ask suspiciously. He didn't say, but he says I should pass this to you. You won't survive today, and he will make sure of it. What is that supposed to mean? I muttered under my breath, feeling disturbed. Chapter 48. Kate POV. I feel uneasy, I say, pacing around the office while Lawrence sits watching me intensely. Something is about to happen. I don't get why he is on his way here and what his message means. Something is fishy, I say, running my hand through my hair in frustration. Calm down, Kate, Lawrence says, calmly, walking towards me. He places his hand on my shoulders, making me relax. He said I won't survive this time, I say, resting my head on his shoulder. He lifts my chin, looking me in the eyes. We are ready for anything that's going to come our way, he says with a smile. I feel like I'm not even ready for what comes my way. We are going to get through this together, he says, sensing my fear. Don't stress, I smile weakly. Okay, let's get this over with, I say, pulling him out of the room towards the field where everyone is training. Kate, over here, Becca yells, waving from the field where she is training with Ethan. I left Lawrence's side, walking towards Becca and Ethan. Kate, I need your help, Becca says, glaring at Ethan, playful, who has a smirk on his lips. And for what exactly? I say, hiding my smile. Ethan is getting on my nerves because he thinks he has more skills in fighting than me, she says between clashed teeth. I have skills, just admit it. Becca, he says, smirking, pulling Becca closer. Always competitive, but what can I say at all? Love, you have skills, Ethan, when it comes to fighting, I say. Ethan grinned widely while Becca frowned at me, but my friend, he Rysenil, mischievously wrapping my hand on Becca's shoulder, has skills in other aspects. I wink, making Becca blush. I know she does, Ethan says, laughing. Shut up, Becca says, hitting Ethan on his belly lightly. Your Highness, Alpha James is close to the border with his warriors calling for war. I received through the pack mind link. Okay, keep him from crossing the border. To my agent extraordinaire, Marianne Logan. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. And Lily, unmove everyone to the safe house, safe house. I didn't know there is a safe house. Jack, get all the warriors and come with me. Lawrence orders through the mind link. I am coming with you. There is no way I am leaving this for you alone. I mind link him privately. Kate, you stay back. I can't let you come with me, he says, pleading. No, you said we are in this together, so why are you leaving me out of this? I say, getting angry. He was silent for a second before replying, I can take care of this, don't you worry. I am coming with you. I say, not giving him any more thought to my decision. You will stay here, he orders, using his power hunt to get Kate, Becca, and Grace to the safe house before joining us. Okay. Leave. I go with Mum to the safe house while Alex, Dad, Melanie, and Pa come with us, he orders. He walks towards me, kissing me on my forehead before shifting into his Lycan, running into the forest with the warriors tailing after him. I plead with Lawrence through the mind link, but he blocked me out. I tail after Hunter defected with Lawrence's command. I helped the children and women into the safe house with the help of my girls. Hunter left after bringing me into the safe house. He assured me everything will be taken care of, but I still feel I am needed there and not here. You have to love something for you to protect it, the moon goddess words echo in my mind. Tiara, what can we do? I ask, reaching out to her. We are one with him and he can't do this without us. We have to do this. I strip off my clothes before shifting into my large white Lycan, running out of the safe house through the forest. The trees pass in a blur, my paws digging into the soil as I run at full speed. The smell of blood and dirt fill my nostril. I almost gag but hold it in. I shift behind a tree before putting on my clothes. I follow the scent towards the border. Dead wolves, both in human form. I look around to find more black and white wolf fighting off a wolf, while Auntie Melanie helping a much smaller wolf and her honey brown wolf. Everyone was fighting and wolf getting killed. My dad's pack was getting the upper hand using their strength and number. My dad's pack was never good when it comes to fighting, and they were small in number, but from what I am seeing this has changed. Something cut my eyes from the corner, a large brown wolf jumping in an attacking way towards Lawrence. I use my strength jumping in the right angle, catching it before it could get anywhere closer to Lawrence. I pull myself up from the wolf. Lawrence rushed towards me, standing protectively in front of me. He bites the wolf by the neck before turning around to face me. He growls at me. I ask you to stay back, his mind links. Oh, you are welcome because I just saved your life, I snap, sarcastically glaring at the white Lycan standing in front of me. Lawrence, let her be. You mean me need her? Auntie Melanie's mind links. Lawrence groans while I senile, winning this round. You better be careful, he warned. I will. You are talking to a very good fighter here, I say smugly, but was cut off by the most annoying voice ever. Now the whole family is complete, Alpha Janes says, walking towards us with a devilish smirk. What is all this, Alpha Janes? I say between clashed teeth. What is this? He asks, forming innocence. This my revenge, he says with cold eyes, anger radiating off him. You were the one who tried to kill me, I say in shock and bewildered. Tears ran down my eyes as the only hope of getting a fatherly love came crashing down. What did I ever do to you? Why do you always hurt me? I yelled, not caring how valuable I look in front of him. Everyone shifts back to their human form. Silence surrounds us, everyone watching the drama unfold. Lawrence tries wiping my tears away, but I stop him from doing so. I am tired of acting strong. I want him to see the pain he cost me. You took my mate away, and you ask me what you did, he says, raising his voice. Dad, Hunter yells, walking towards us with eyes dark with anger. Stop there, you know what she didn't. You choose to forgive her, he says, stopping him from going closer to me. Dad, all the anger is killing you, he says, walking towards me, ignoring his father's order. I can't leave like that anymore, and I am not letting you hurt her. You've done enough, he says, lacing his hand with mine. He's no longer himself. Auntie Melanie tells everyone through the mind link. What does that mean? I asked, confused. The goodness of darkness feeds on his anger for you using it to get control of his mind, she says, eyeing him in disgust. What can be done? Lawrence asks. You can only set him free by cutting through his heart, she says warily. We can't do that, don't get me wrong here. I know he's trying to kill me and all, but I can tend his life. He deserves a second chance. After all, maybe I can get him to understand this all wrong. I say sincerely. I believe there is love still in his heart for me, I say nonchalantly. If you are done chatting, let me know, he says in a boring tune. Dad, I called, gaining his attention. I have told you countless times I am not your father, he says harshly. You're my dad. You brought me to this world, I say softly, walking cautiously towards him. I know you believe I killed Mum, but... I paused, waiting for him to say something harsh. He says nothing, so I continue. I was just a pup who needed a motherly love. A mother to care. A mother I could cry on. A mother who I can learn from. His eyes softened while staring intensely into his eyes, tears flowing freely from mine. You lost your mate while I lost my mum. You feel pain, but do you feel the pain of not being good enough? Pain that no one will ever love you, not even your family, I say, pouring my feelings out without a care in the world, and it feels good. I feel that pain, and it hurts badly. It hurts to always act strong when all you need is someone to cry on. I say, wrapping my tears. I always wish you could love me as your daughter. I tried gaining your attention, and the only thing I could think about was to get in trouble if that the only way for you to see that you have a daughter and not just a son. You blame me for the death of your mate. I blame myself for ever coming to this world. I say, taking his hands in mine. Dad, this is your daughter who loves you with everything. Who craves your attention and love. I hold his hands tightly, staring at him with pleading eyes. I need you in my life as my father and guardian, I say with a smile. His eyes switch like he was conversing with his wolf, but it must be the goodness of darkness. Stop this, you witch, he snapped, holding me by my neck, lifting me off my feet. The smile still on my lips. I'm sorry that I only ever mess things up. I'm sorry that I have a bad attitude. I'm sorry I'm a waste of space. I'm sorry I'm a waste of time. I'm sorry I'm such a burden. I'm sorry I'm a huge fuck up. I'm sorry I can't do anything right, I say calmly as possible, holding on to the last of my breath as the pressure gets tighter. Lawrence and Hunter tried rushing towards me, but were stopped by Auntie Melanie and Ma. I'm sorry, but I forgive you, I say, letting go of my anger and hate. Tears roll down his cheeks as he releases hold on my neck. I fell on the ground, holding my neck to ease the burning sensation and get much needed air into my lungs. My pup, he says, looking at his hands like it was foreign to him. My eyes widened in shock. He just called me his pup. He fell on his knees, hugging me tightly like it was the last. We cried together. He pulls back, staring at me intensely. I am sorry for what I have done to you, he pleaded. I forgive you, I say sincerely. My son, come here, he calls for Hunter. Hunter rushed towards us, joining in a hug. Take care of your sister, okay, he says with a smile. I will, Hunter replied with a smile. He looked up towards Lawrence. Thank you for putting a smile on my daughter's face. Be with her always, he says, while Lawrence replied with a nod. Thank you. To my agent extraordinaire, Mylan Nilban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. For taking care of her and teaching her all that she knows. I can never repay you for your kindness, he says. It was my duty, Ma says with a nod. Thank you all for being the pillar to her life. He glances back at us with a smile. Hunter, I want you to lead the pack with integrity. Never follow my part, because you will lose everything in the end, he says, patting his shoulder softly. Kate, it time, he says softly. Time for what? I ask squarely in confusion. You have to kill me, he exclaimed. Why will I do that? I ask, shocked. Kate, this only thing you can do to set me free, he says, pleading. No, I can't do this, I say, shaking my head in disbelief. Kate, listen to me, you have to do this, Hunter says, holding my hand. I can't hold on anymore, she's gaining control, he exclaimed. Okay. My claws inject out, pushing into his chest, dripping out his heart as my fangs dig through his neck. He groans in pain as tears run down from my eyes. Whining at the pain. Cries of agony fill the air. No. No. I remove my fangs, feeling his lifeless body under me. Lawrence pulled me into a hug. I cried bitterly. Lawrence hugged me tightly, sending hope through the mind link. It all right, he said, playing with my hair. I released him from the hug, nodding my head in reply. I walked towards Ma, hugging her tightly. It okay, my dear, she pats my back. So what next? Anderson asks warily. It not over yet, Auntie Melanie says as the clouds grow darker and smoke clouds everywhere. She's here, Ma says in fear. Chapter 49, the NK POV. She's here, Ma says, fear lacing her voice. The clouds grow darker by the minute. Blackbirds flew from the clouds surrounding a particular spot. Then a lady with white long hair and black dress stepped through the forest. Her eyes were white and big black feather wings on her back. She gave a signal and a bird flew resting on her wrist. This unknown creature gives me goosebumps. Eyes focus on us with a devilish smile. She walked towards us, power radiating from her. Her every step's ending fear into us, and she knows it because our smile never flutters. Who are you? Lauren saw there's no sign of fear but of confusion and anger. The unknown creature laughs like she heard the funniest thing ever. You deeply hurt my feelings, Travis, she says before glancing at Elder Matthias with a smirk. It seems like you didn't do your duty effectively. But not to worry, I can help with that. She says, walking confidently towards us. I am the goodness of darkness, and it's so splendid to be in front of you all. She walks towards me, staring into my eyes with distaste and anger. She uses our index finger in lifting my chin. I was thinking, instead of killing you, why don't I give you a chance? Join me, she says maliciously. With your strength, we can build an empire together. Because I see a girl who deserves more, and not just these pitiable feelings, she says in disgust. I can never fall for your devilish schemes. I say harshly, I will pass because I'd rather not end up like you. Bitter and a total scumbag, I spite coldly. Her finger digs into my skin, drawing blood out. I hiss in pain while Lawrence growls at a warning for her to release me. You better think twice before I end your life, and this time you won't resurrect, she says maliciously, bringing my chin higher. I could feel the aching of my bones. I wrap my hand around her hand on my chin, digging my claws into her skin. She releases her hold, slapping me so hard the air knocks out of my lungs. I fall on the ground, clutching my face, feeling the hotness of the slap, which will surely leave a scar for a few days. Lawrence growled angrily, going for the attack, but was pulled back by Elder Matthias. She picks me up with a smile on her lips. It looks like I have to teach you how to show respect. She claws my stomach, making me hiss from the pain. Kate holds on for a few minutes. Tiara informs me, sadness lacing her voice. What going to happen in a few minutes? I exclaimed. Before she could reply, I felt pain run through my body from the claws digging into my sensitive flesh. I love hearing you cry in agony. It gives me joy, she said, laughing. Lawrence rushes towards my side, pulling me away from her before she could bite into my neck. I am so sorry. You will be all right, okay, he said, placing my head on his lap, trying to stop the bleeding. Light surrounds us, clearing the clouds. The moon goddess came through the cloud. You have done enough. Take her away, she orders. White wolves run towards the goodness of darkness, putting her into a chain into an unknown place while ignoring her cries. Let me go. I feel weak as darkness clouds my vision. Kate. Don't close your eyes, Lawrence whispers, brushing my hair as tears run down his eyes, betraying him. I cough, trying to keep my eyes open, but it's difficult when all I want to do is sleep and forget all this ever happened. That my life was a fairy tale and not a nightmare. I can't. Let me sleep, okay, just for a few minutes, I plead, feeling exhausted and drained both physically and emotionally. Don't you die on me, Kate. You have to keep your eyes open. Anderson calls the pack doctor. He yells. I am here. Let me see. The pack doctor says, kneeling in front of me, going through his medical kit. Everyone watches intensely with tears in their eyes. Take this, the moon goddess says, handling a small liquid bottle to Lawrence. As the doctor tries to stop the bleeding, she should drink it. It will stop the bleeding and give her strength, she says with a smile. Lawrence takes it from her with a grateful nod. Drink this, he says, placing the bottle near my lips. I drink the whole content in the bottle. The bitter liquid brings my taste bladder back to life with the bitterness level. I close my eyes for a few minutes, feeling my energy renewed in my heart, feeling whole and different, like I have no worries. I open my eyes to see Lawrence's face filled with concern. He hugged me tightly before helping me on my feet. My hand wrapped around his shoulders for support. The moon goddess says with a smile on her face, thank you for saving my children. We should be the one thanking you. Lawrence said with a smile. Just remember, everything I do is for the best and well-being of my children. You should guide and lead them in the way of honesty and love. She turns towards Ma and Elder Matthias. You to deserve the love of a mate, she says with a smart. Matthias, you shall be Alex's mate to love and protect her, and Alex, you do the same. Ma blush while Elder Matthias smile lovely at her. I always knew they would end. I whisper to Lawrence, laughing lightly. Hunter, I bless you with the strength to lead your pack and a mate to stand with you, she says, staring intensely at Hunter, while he bowed in appreciation. Melanie, live your life doing good deals and share the love because you are blessed with a heart filled with love, she said, walking towards Auntie Melanie and holding her hands. I will do that, she says with a smile. She left Auntie Melanie's side walking towards me and Lauren's love and selflessness that what you both need. She looked at everyone with a smile. I always will watch over you all because we're a mother, without her children, she says. Everyone bows as she walks into an unknown place. She turns looking at me. Your mum is proud of the woman you've become. I never once hated you, she says, disappearing. I smile, feeling happy and freedom overwhelm me. We all change into our wolves and Lycans before running back to the mansion. We celebrate our victory. I receive hugs and gratitude from everyone. I walk hand in hand with Lauren to change for the party of our success with our kingdom and other packs. I grin widely, locking eyes with Lawrence with a grin of his own. I've only just realized how utterly exhausted and drained I am after living in a near constant fight for so long. I'm so done feeling like everyone is tired of me or doesn't want me because I learned being hurt is one of the ways to find your strength. That crying doesn't indicate that you are weak because since birth it has always been a sign you're alive. I've learned tears are words that the heart can't say, and pain makes you stronger. Fear makes you braver. Heartbreak makes you wiser. And forgiveness makes you better, but repeating the same mistakes makes you worse. When I look at you I see my hope. My salvation, because you helped me build the woman I am today. I say with a smile. He pulled me closer, wrapping his hands around my waist and my hands his neck. You are me, Vida. You show me there is more to life than what you see, he says with love in his eyes. I love you with my whole life, he says, his eyes sparkling from the lights. I love you, I say with a smile. Thanks for teaching me it's never worth holding on to the pain, but letting go means strength. I say, locking his lips with mine. This doesn't mean it is over, but the beginning of something new and maybe dangerous, because I love taking risks. Like what Auntie Melanie said, after the end of the battle we are glorious, we will no longer be afraid, only through pain can you achieve your greatness. The impure are the untouched, the unburned, the unslain. Those who have not been torn have no valve in themselves and no place in this world. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode of the story, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to get notifications for updates.